Okay, welcome back to a new day in the shop, a new video. Shop dogs, what are y'all doing? You like a little better out here today? Shadow? Cisco? Jack? A little cooler out here. Hang on, come here. Got something on your butt. So the plan for today, where we left off, we got the driver's side fender skirt mounted. What? You didn't talk when you were supposed to. We got this driver's side fender skirt mounted. I did already get one comment on the video about not putting those two extra clamps up there. And like I said, I think that's probably a good idea. I think it probably would be. Hey, what are you doing? You just talking? Okay. It would be impractical, and it'd be possible, but impractical, because I don't believe I could get them in after I put the tire on. So the plan for today, pretty decent day. We're we're only about 92 degrees outside. Got a good 5 to 8 mile an hour wind blowing out of the south, so I'm getting some good airflow through the shop here. Still got the swamp cooler going when I'm not videoing. The plan today is to get this other fender skirt mounted up there, mocked up there, and then my jam nut, I think they're called, back here in the back, and get that one all finished up, at least finished up to the point where then I can take the weather seal off and get those re-jammed, because I'm sure I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of body work on this fender skirt as well, because that lip just sits too much of an angle. That lip sits on too much of an angle this way. I had to take and flatten it out so it fit that lip on the fender well. So we get that done. Hopefully gonna get got my powdered guide coat. Get some of that on there. Maybe get that blocked one more time. Hopefully it's only one more time. And I've still got to get my nuts in down here where the bottom of that fender bolt's on. So that's the plan for today. See how far we get. Because then, if I get those done, then maybe tomorrow, tomorrow's Wednesday, yeah, maybe tomorrow, I can get those fender skirts re-jammed, the inside of the lip on the fender wells re-jammed, and one other thing I need to do before I put it completely down on the ground. I can always jack it back up, but I'd like to get it down where I can start working on doors and the roof especially. I've got the piece of exhaust pipe that goes up over the rear end and the new hanger for it. So I'm going to try to get that on and see. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need some additional pipe to run the exhaust out the back of the car. So I'll try to at least get that on there, what I've got, get it measured up, and next time I'm in town I can buy me a piece of exhaust pipe. So appreciate y'all coming back. Hopefully we got a little bit cooler of a week here and I can get the shop cooled down enough so I can come in here and work on it longer. The other thing I want to, once I get those done, then I'm going to start on getting mounted and the doors on, so I can make sure I get those doors aligned and make sure they're going to clear those sill plates. So that's probably the next things we got in store. Hope you all are having a good day, and we'll catch you here in a little bit. Well, welcome back to a new day here in the shop. Been doing a lot of little stuff, nothing really worth filming. So this week's video is probably going to be late coming out. What have I been working on? So, where I left off. I don't even know for sure where I left off. I got my nut zerts in over here. I think that may have been on the last video. I got the nut zerts in to bolt on the front of the bottom of the front fenders. I pretty much got my body work finished up on this side. I've got some little pinhole repairs with this new glazing that I got. About the only thing I can say about it, seems to work good, but you have to make sure you don't put it on too thick, and you have to make sure it dries well. So this has been on for a couple of days, so it should sand good now. What else? Oh, I got be a little tough to see here. I'll start back here, but I actually started getting some of my wiring. I have a harness that I acquired from a guy, and so I've actually started running that. Comes out from under the dash, goes down through the rocker panel. So far, I've got it run back here. That's just laying there for right now. I did go ahead and run the wire for my interior lights, and just left that looped out. I bought some new sockets and bulbs that are basically same as the license plate light would be. So I've got them done where I can get them wired in. But I'm going to get this in here, get it down here, and get it mounted with some clips. Goes up over the back of the fender and then back into the rear. Wiring harness that I got, I'm not sure what it was for. It was a Speedway wiring harness that a guy traded me for. So it's like any others. You have to go through and pick out what you need and what you don't need, which I'd already done. On this one here, basically it comes back and the wires are all labeled. But I had to add, what I have to add? I had to add a wire for my backup lights. This car did originally have what was apparently a factory option for backup lights here. And I'll probably just put those on a switch unless I can figure out if they're somewhere down at the base of the steering column. I don't know if we can even see it from here, probably not. But if you're familiar with these cars, the base of the original steering column, they've got some wire connectors right there on the shift linkage. One of them, I'm assuming, might be for the backup lights. I'm assuming one of them probably like a neutral safety switch. That I don't know, so I'll be working on that. Say if nothing else, I'll just put a little switch kind of under the dash with a little red LED light that comes on when I turn the backup lights on. The other thing I had to run, well, I didn't have to run it. In this wiring harness, it's got your park and turn signal wires, but then I'm assuming it's the brake light. I don't know. It's got a fit. It's got a connector, and the wire actually says third brake light, so I can just hook that into the brake lights. And then I had to run an extra wire for the interior lights. So that's what I've done there. So my plan for today, I've still got a piece down here on the back side of this rocker in the front where I need about a 1-inch strip of metal. Get that welded in to completely close off that rocker. I got my gasket or weather strip on the passenger side. Fender skirt, I'm going to be working on getting that finalized, getting my little jack nut back here, I think it was called, like I did on the other side, and get that final fitting done, get this glazing sanded off, and hopefully by the end of the day I'll be able to hit this with another coat of a final coat of the high build self-etching primer, and just block sand it one more time. I don't think I need to. I think I've got it pretty well, but I'm going to go ahead and hit it and block it one more time before I just finish it off with the self-etching primer. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. I've got a query out on Facebook on some of the Ford places because I'm trying to figure out exactly how these interior light switches would work converted over to 12 volt. I'm assuming, because if I remember right, these cars were a 12 volt positive ground, and so I'm not sure if these switches had power running through them, or if just when you open the door that completes a circuit for the ground. If that's the case, then can I just wire this in hot, and then when that plunger comes out, when you open the door, that will complete the circuit with a current for the interior lights. Or are they even built like that? I know some of the newer cars, and I'm talking 70s, maybe 80s, had the same type of plunger switch in the doors, and I think they was probably power. But these here I don't know, so I don't know if this plunger will accept power through it or not. I'll probably actually get my battery charger out and hook some power and a light to it or something, and just see what it does if it takes 12 volt power. But if you know anything about that, leave me a comment, because I'll probably not be working on that right away. like I say, I'm assuming what I will do now is run power through that wire, that new wire I've ran, off of that plunger and off of the switch, and then somewhere here, oh, come on. I bought, and I've got one up here. Got one here somewhere that I already made up. But I bought some new plugs. Oh, here it is. So I bought some new plugs. I have got that into the old mounting thing. So I'm assuming that interior is the single pole bulb will be the power, and this will ground into the body. Now, one of the things I'm going to make sure is I've got a good ground. I've got a good ground from the engine to the frame, off the alternator. Well, it's not hooked up now. I got to get that hooked up. There was actually two there, so I'll hook that up from one from the engine to the body. I'll have to see where they went. Anyhow, there were two of them hooked up there. One to the block, and one to the back of the alternator that then went to the body, actually to the core support there. Wiring is not my forte, but I think I know enough. I can make this work. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. And thank you all for coming back. I don't think I've missed anything that I've worked on. Part of that attaching those wires where they go back there through the trunk is, a couple years ago when I started this, I bought a bunch of these cable ties that have a screw mount, and so those, I'm sure I don't have enough of the little metal clips that clip on the lips back there. I found one the other night, but I'm just going to drill with a self-tapper and attach it. See if we can see in here. I'm going to attach it to that lip there that goes across the top of the fender well and run it back into the back. So I still got a couple little things to figure out. I have a new tank, new that I bought about 20 years ago off of eBay, and I bought a new fuel sending unit and stuff for it. So I've got to figure out where that goes down through, and it may end up that I just somewhere here in the trunk punch a hole and just put it down through there so I can get to the fuel tank, put it down through a grommet. So that's what we're going to be working on today, and we'll keep bringing you along off and on here, and hope you're all having a good day. All right, we're back. Shop dogs, what are you doing? I know, Cisco. Hey, what are you doing? You didn't get to say hi this morning, did you? It's not in here. What are you here? It's just a jet plane. Jax, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you helping Dad today? Not very much, are you? Not very much. Nope. Well, I don't know. Well, you gotta help me more. Instead of just playing all the time. So, I got that mounted up. It looks pretty good. Still a little bit off over here. I think I'm counting on when I glue that weather strip on, that's all going to sit in there a little better and line up a little better. But there it is for now. I got that back mounting piece in. So that means both sides are partially done. What I'm going to do now that I've got them fitted good, got my jack nut where it goes, I'll be taking them off. I'm going to be pulling that weather strip off. I've got enough staples I can put it back in, put them back in if I want to, but I'm going to get that weather strip pulled off for now. I'll get those fender well lips jammed. I'm going to have to repaint the jam on the fender skirts, and then I'm going to leave those gaskets, weather strips, whatever you're going to call them. I'd call them more of a gasket. They're really not a weather strip, other than I guess they would keep the water from coming out between it and the fender lip somewhat. I don't plan on driving it in the rain. We don't get much rain down here in Arizona, but I would call them a gasket. Anyhow, I'm going to take those all off. I'll mark which one goes on which side and which direction. When I paint the car, I will completely paint the fender skirts, because I'm just using the Aero 2K paint on them right now. I'm assuming when I paint the car, it's going to be a little different color. I shouldn't say a different color. It'll be a different finish. Because when I paint the car, my final base coat, I'll probably put, we'll see, probably 2, maybe 3. I got to order a minimum of a gallon of the paint for this, and a gallon should go quite a ways because it's just a lower portion. The upper portion is going to be black, and unfortunately I got to order a gallon of that too. So, but when I do that on my final shot of base coat, I'm also going, it's a single stage urethane from Eastwood. You can also order their clear coat. You mix them separately to whatever ratios it's supposed to be, and then you mix those together, the clear and the base coat, and it's supposed to give you more of a clear coat look. So I will be painting all the exterior with that, including the fender skirts. I'm not going to worry about the jams. They're pretty glossy right now, just standing here looking at them under the light. But yeah, so then I'll repaint those fender skirts. Then I will glue and staple that gasket on, so where it fits nice and even along there. Right now you can see places where it's kind of sucked in or puckered out, and I'm sure it's just going to make it look a lot better once I get that gasket tightened down on there, attached. So next I'm going to be, I will probably go ahead and finish sanding my glazing on this side and get that smoothed up. Give that a couple good coats of the high build self-etching primer, and that's got to take at least 2 hours to set up and dry. I like to give it a little longer, but I'll get those spots all sanded down, make sure you don't have any more pinholes. May not know till I do the final primer, but I'm going to get those done. I'll take these fender skirts off. I'll get my coats of high build self-etching primer on there. That'll give me a couple hours where I can come over here and get this piece in here on the back. You can kind of see the daylight right there, where I've got to weld that piece in. As that'll take, you all know, little spot weld jobbies. It'll probably take me a couple hours to do that, but I'm going to do that. And the other thing I want to try to do today is get my scuff plates, get the rockers drilled and the scuff plates fitted. Let's see. Yeah, see, you can see that rectangle right there. I got to go in there and clean that up and weld a little piece in there. So that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. It's almost evening, 5 o'clock. It's actually starting to cool down in here. It was 101 when we came in, down to 96 now. So we've actually been cooling off. The other night we cooled off to 71 in the evening, but last night was about 82. So that makes it comfortable working in here. That's what I got going on for the rest of the evening. I'll get done what I can, probably bring you guys back for an update, and then I got to go in and get this video put together since I didn't get one out today. I'll get it put out in the morning. And the other thing I wanted to tell you guys, so if you look at my wiring here, I didn't use standard electrical tape. I know it's probably hard to see. But what I did, just kind of give this the old school look, is I bought about 4 rolls of this cloth electrical tape. So instead of using modern day plastic wire loom, I'm just taping everything good with that. And here's where I built those parts of the rocker panels, and that holds your wiring harness in there. I don't think I'm going to have any on the other side because I went ahead and run everything to the back, and then I run up here for my courtesy light, went across, went down the other side. So I really don't think there's anything that'll go through that rocker over there. So thank you all for coming along. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of what's going on here, and keep coming back. Appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you later.